Y'all flood the chat on Discord with so much stupid crap, and I gotta scroll through all this dumb shit just to see what our topics are.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, guys. So unprofessional.
You guys are the one who started the jury feet conversation above me, okay? Not me. Not me, okay? Weekly feet, baby.
Oh good, I have my hat to hide my hairline. Let's raise this up.
Yeah, your nice hat. You've been wearing it a lot in your videos recently.
Oh yeah, it's so much nicer not having to worry about my hairstyle. Or having to make sure it looks presentable, you know? It's so nice.
Yeah, I mean, you could just do like me. Just say, you know, you're doing the finger cam and just never show your hairstyle. Haha.
I could, but I think it sets me apart a little bit that I do show my face really often. A lot of FGC people don't. I think it helps me stand out a bit.
Oh, really? I never knew that, actually. Like, a lot of FGC people.
Oh, when you think about it.
Why
like Maximilian dude does.
Why dogs took like 240p?
Am I? On my screen, I look fine.
For Discord. Discord. The point is, as long as when you send me the footage, it'll be good, then that's all that matters. I'm a bit sad over here currently. Something kind of sad happened.
But well, save it for the podcast.
It's not like, I don't know if it's really a podcast topic because like, well, it's what do you call it? I lost my reptile suit.
Oh shit.
The thing is
sad.
Well, actually, the funny thing is it's not I lost my entire reptile suit because I still have like the most important parts of it. The vest and that fell off. Shoot. You know, like the vest and stuff like that. So I could still do like the most important part and whatnot. I lost the middle part, the black like part that makes you have. Yeah.
Oh, literally, who gives a shit? Then you can easily replace that.
I guess. But
I thought the green part was missing.
No, that's still here, which is thank goodness. I wouldn't know why my black hoodie part was missing because literally I always keep it in this drawer. Oh my gosh, like details, exclusive SonicHaXD information. But for some reason I must have washed it and just like I don't know. It's just not there right now, which really sucks. It is like I do sometimes just wear a black T-shirt and then wear that vest and call it a day with the reptile cosplay. But like for say like, you know, like the collab part that I'm about to do, the one where like I gotta do the gotcha part. I do kind of still want that whole suit, you know, because there is the hoodie part with it. That's one of the things that has it within. Unfortunately, half my conversation was not heard by Dog because he dipped on us. And that's why it's such a sad story. Oh, hey, Dog, welcome back. I just finished through the entirety of my life story right there.
Yeah, you lost the middle piece, apparently, of the reptile costume, which is sad.
You heard that.
I tried to convert my crappy... So I wanted to throw away... I wanted to get rid of all these clothes that I have. I have too much extra clothes, so I'm going to give a huge chunk of clothes to Goodwill, right?
Oh, that's nice.
I think so. I heard there's some shady things about Goodwill, but I don't know where else to put these clothes, so I'm going to give them to Goodwill.
I mean, come on. Surely if there was something shady about Goodwill, it'd be called Badwill.
Shady Will.
Shady Will. No.
But so I wanted to...
If they turn out to be shady, then they're going to be called Last Will.
Last Will. That'd be... Dude, could you imagine? I mean, if they have literal suicide booths in Canada, so I guess anything's possible.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, no, I was saying I was gonna get rid of the scorpion costume with everything else because it's just a crappy Halloween costume. But I saw an opportunity and I converted it into a sexy scorpion costume.
What the hell?
Literally cut away the black part of it that covers like your chest. So now it's just the yellow V. And I'm like, I'm going to get bigger. I'm going to get even bigger until I can wear this shirtless and be sexy scorpion.
You're going to be like sideline shirtless like the MK11 scorpion and stuff.
I'm going to be like MKX trimmer. It's going to be just the V and then like just my chest.
Ooh, you're going to be that rock hard, eh? That's cool.
Oh, damn. You made it really funny with that, actually. That's a good joke.
I'm on my pun game today. Yeah. No. Yeah, I actually went and checked like the ninja costume. Like, I'm thinking of reordering one because I'm only missing that black part. So I'm thinking if I could get like another one like for like Scorpion or any other character color, it'd be fine. Because like then it's just a different color.
Makes sense. And then you have more options for weird skits.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I was kind of wondering if I did buy another one, what would you guys suggest in terms of like which other ninja would I get?
Hmm.
I
Well, it
remember
depends what they have.
Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Ermac, and then there's a pure black one, so that's like Noob Saibot. But the issue with Noob Saibot
Yo,
is what?
what if Ermac escapes from the poker game skits and becomes real?
What?
Yeah, I think Ermac too. Honestly, I
Yeah,
wasn't even thinking it for lore reasons, but I was thinking Ermac sequentially.
I mean, Ermac is literally like my second favorite character. I think that's a pretty good idea.
Oh, yo, sorry, but if you do anything with that as Ermac, where you're playing him, you have to get me and Dog to like dub over your line to put it all together.
Oh, we are many. You are but one. That kind of
Oh, I
like
see what you mean. I thought okay.
gotta get like triple voices. Gotta get really. We're gonna be Ultron Sigma. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
Unfortunately, yes.
I thought you meant that you were gonna force us to do the editing, as in like get me and Dog to
Oh,
put it
nah,
together.
nah.
I was like, damn, the revenge.
You guys will do the editing July, so we'll wait for that eventually.
I'm gonna be gone for like a solid like week coming up in May because I have to go to Combo Breaker with my buddies and like compete. But also because before that, because I'm the only person who doesn't work a day job anymore, my family realized they can use me to do annoying shit like dog sit. So they're gonna have me dog sit.
Dog.
Like I love dogs, but like it's just like it's so boring because it's at my mom's house and she has like nothing to do because she's a regular person. When she wants to have fun, she goes out with friends and stuff. So her house has literally nothing. There's no internet. There's like not even cable TV. There's books. That's about it.
Yeah, but you love dogs. I also love you, Dog.
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
I love you, dogs.
Damn it, Snake is on the punch.
Loves a strong word. I tolerate you, dogs. Love's a strong word.
Wait, we're dogs now? I thought we were kings. What's going on here?
What's up, dog? What's up, dog?
What's up,
Did y'all
dog?
see the page that I sent? I know it's random, but y'all see like the she's so thick.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like how you just like how the translation is just thick. You just remind
ahead.
me of the I forgot what that anime is called. It's the one where like it's the black skin like girl who like treats the guy like shit, and people like that about her. Naga something.
Nagatoro.
Bro. And then it's
She's
like
not black, she's tan.
okay, well I'm in
But yeah.
darker skin, so that's what I mean.
Oh, sus.
Yeah, it's like oh she's just sus, and that got people riled up for some reason.
Yeah, no, I was only correcting you because it's a common meme that people think she has a darker skin tone, like that she's Filipino or something, and it's like no, she's actually just a normal like Japanese girl, but she's just tan,
She's just tan for sure. I can tell.
which is a bit odd because when they explain why she's tan or like when they think to explain why, it doesn't make sense. Because she's an
explain
athlete,
that?
we know that she's a tomboy. No, they don't, but I think the author thought it made sense and then realized, oh, this doesn't make sense, because she's like a judo expert or something like that. She's a martial artist, right?
Okay.
But martial artists practice indoors, so it doesn't really make sense why she'd be tan.
It is an outdoor. I don't know. Outdoor.
If she was like a beach volleyball player, then it would make sense, like a sand volleyball player, because then it's like, oh, you're outside all the time. But like, there's no reason why she's so sun-kissed. It's very similar to that manga that I love so much, but it makes no sense, and I can tell the author did not know this when they started. That Record of Ragnarok series that I like so much. The anime is still very subpar, but that manga is so fucking good. But they made Zeus like really old, and then realized like, wait, Zeus is the youngest brother of the Olympians, and they're all like 25-year-old looking. So it's weird that I made Zeus old. Thanks to the author, I bet.
Maybe like what was it called? It's just like the style that they want. I don't know. They want like I don't know. In Fate, it's not like if King Arthur's saber, so it has to be like very old, much more of an older person. It's just like it's still youngerish, and it's also a lady. So maybe that's what they wanted to go with. It's like who cares? I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean Zeus can also shapeshift, so it could just be that he likes to look old for whatever reason. It could definitely be.
Yeah.
Because he can shapeshift in the show even. Like they've shown in the manga that he can shapeshift, so I wonder if he just doesn't mind.
Oh, you got a new cap this time. You got the blue cap. What does it say? Your camera's a tad bit blurry.
I have no fucking clue what it says. It's hard to read because it's half white and half black, like chopped down the middle, so it's actually hard to read even for me. I can check for you. Oh, it just says Volcom. It's just the brand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I noticed that you were wearing the black hat in your recent videos, and then like
Yeah, in my videos I try to match, but today I don't care. And also I'm trying to wear more colors. Like if I'm wearing purple, then I think a blue hat kind of works because it's like color on color. You know?
Nice. Blue is it's close to the color purple, so it has more of a similarity like contrast with it, which is a nice feeling, a more comfortable feeling.
That all blue looked pretty sick, Snake. I'm not gonna lie, that looked pretty cool. Have it all blue. Damn it! I hate that the word "cool" is also a temperature. Damn it! Say again.
Very nice.
Too dark. Nice.
Too dark.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The whole entire
it would be
reason
funny
why I
though,
told you
like
about the
the whole
reptile
podcast
story is because like I was actually filming both of your collab parts just then, and then I will be like, haha, I'm wearing the reptile suit now because I just went to film that. But I can't do that now because I don't have it. So that's a bit of a
shit. I'm sorry, homeboy.
Yeah, so Snake, I think you kind of want it as soon as possible. I was planning on giving it to you like right now, but like since I can't record it now, I guess I'll try to get it to you like next week then.
Well, that's bullshit. I'm on time with everything. Just kidding.
Yeah, your collab part was awesome. I just had to rewatch it again because this is the tragic part.
Oh, the pro wrestling thing.
I redid the like my skit part. So I was watching your video and doing it. I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna wear the reptile suit because there's like comedy effects. And I'm like. And then I just like fuck where to go, and then like for the last hour I've been looking for it and I just couldn't find it.
Oh man, like, you know what would be awesome? I just thought of.
Yeah.
We would never do this because it would just be pure like embarrassment. But my head is funny and thinks of funny things.
Okay.
So, you know, like the sad cat dance. There was a meme for a bit.
The sad cat dance.
You haven't seen that?
No, maybe
it shows,
I've seen it. I just don't know that's what's called. Let's see.
The meme format is basically, it was very popular in the animation sphere, but like the meme format is guy or even a girl sometimes wants this attractive person to do the sad cat dance. So it shows them like give them like an art like the cat ears or whatever. Then the person looks at them kind of awkward and they're begging them and then it cuts to them like embarrassingly doing it because they force them. I imagine that, but like it's the reptile outfit. Like I want you to do the dance in the reptile outfit, and it's you doing the thing from your.
Goodness gracious! I won't have boobies.
I'm like begging you to do it.
I'll sway the loincloth part. That'll be swaying around. There we go.
You don't have to have boobies. It's all about the dancing. It's just about the dance, which apparently people are saying is from Chainsaw Man. Maybe.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like someone on the internet did it. I think maybe that in that case, like the Makima one was the most popular first. I'm assuming. I have no idea.
Well, it's way later in the manga. Like, there's that one scene with the DDR. You know which scene I'm talking about.
I know. Yes.
But even so, when people say it's what inspired it, I'm like, it very loosely did because it's nothing like that in the manga. So it would have been a very loose inspiration.
One of my favorite versions of that meme was the Chun-Li one. I don't know if you remember that one.
Is it Chun-Li sad cat dance?
I think, yeah. Let me see if I can find that one. Because the ending of that one's kind of funny.
Will she do it? Is it Third Strike animation style?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, she's just slapping the shit out of him.
Yeah, that's the one I remember seeing. Just just comboing.
Out of all the great things in Street Fighter 6, Chun-Li's animation still looks so bad for some reason. Like, she looks so jank with her, like, default animations. Like, her standing pose is like this. It looks all bad. And her walk is, like, so bad that it defies reality. I'm going to post this sad cat dance
That's a
video
pretty cool lighting you just had there, Snake. This seemed kind of cool. Halloween special. Yay, we're at the Halloween special again. We could slightly chat about Street Fighter 6 since there was a lot of news about that came. Actually, did any of you guys play the demo that came out recently?
Not had a chance yet. No.
I
forgot about it until yesterday. Then I was like, oh yes.
Don't get your hopes too high. It's a very bad, like not bad. It's very subpar demo. All it has is World Tour pretty much. Otherwise, all you can do is play as Luke or Ryu against the AI, and that's it.
Oh, so it sounds
to be fair, World Tour is a thing I want to try out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
even that is like pretty limited. Don't get your hopes too high.
The 30-minute like video explaining the World Tour in the Street Fighter 6 trailer, I was like really captivated. I'm like, oh hell yeah, this seems really fun. Just like,
captivate.
You know what I'm excited for, but I bet they're not gonna do it. I'm getting my hopes up for nothing. So in World Tour, what I will say is that Luke is a very fleshed out character as your coach. Yeah. Like they do a really good job with him. And I'm hoping they bring that same level of personality depth to every character that can coach you in the game.
Yeah.
I hope they do that, but I'm worried they won't, and they're all just going to be like generic coaches. Like Chun-Li's going to be like, keep up your training, yeah, and like that's it. And then Juri's going to be like, go to the gym, and like that's it. You know, I'd love to see actual deep character dives for like each character, including especially Juri, because she has no characters since Street Fighter V. Like
Would
she's
she be a coach?
done literally
I wonder
nothing.
about that. I wonder if all the past fighters that come back will like what can you be like taught by Cammy and stuff like that. I am kind of curious.
I'm pretty sure every single character that's on the base roster has a coach option
So
because
even new characters like oh okay.
yeah, we see it in the trailers actually when they
that's
show
right.
like for example.
The buff lady, the Italy lady, she's got the you can go to her.
Lion taming scene.
Yeah. Okay, it makes sense. Yeah, I think because they did.
I love when I watched that. I was like, "Who the fuck put spikes on a lion?"
The lion. That was funny. You can like increase your relationship with the coaches. So I don't know if that like will give you more dialogue with them or something like that. It's like a dating sim.
Oh my god! Imagine. That'd be, I was gonna say that. Like, imagine if like you could actually like raise your relationship so high that they go on a date with you. We get like some Persona fucking shit where you can date the teacher and whatnot.
You go Fire Emblem route. It's like if you max out the relationship, you get married with the other character. Hell yeah.
And
looking back on it,
some of the romance options represent different fetishes. when you get to like the big ending scene, so like you know what Juri's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
You know what Chun-Li's gonna be. Hers is technically a bad end because your character gets decapitated.
Hell yeah, I got the mosquito.
Yeah, like I was saying, I just hope they're not like I hope they're not super shallow with it because they could be lazy about it and just have them be like one dimensional. I hope they don't. I hope the coaches actually have. Depth.
It will literally be
cool.
You'll find like a waterfall or like a mountain retreat, and Rhea will just be sat there like meditating. You talk to him, and he goes, "The answer lies at the heart of battle." And then every other line he has is just text.
I look at the trailer footage, and I'm just seeing that. I'm like, I'm hoping this is as good as Yakuza, like that like quirky, like funny Yakuza style like dialogue or things that are happening. Like I just hope it's like that basically.
That's some high hopes you got there, kiddo.
I mean, they could go that way. It's like it does seem like funny. It does seem fun. It seems like the way they're going with it.
Because I don't want the overhead light overpowering all that stuff. But if I don't have enough light there, everything's too dark, and you can't really see me. So I need to try and find a good balance. This isn't even blue lights. This is white. I don't know why the color balance on this camera has just gone all blue. Like it looks nice.
You're like,
it does look.
It's just
blue,
like nice.
It looks nice. It reminds me of Eris. I don't know if you'll ever heard of the YouTube channel, Avoiding the Puddle. Y'all ever heard of him?
Avoiding the Puddle seems interesting.
See, that's
He used to be a fantastic fighting game channel. It's named after Yoshimitsu's jumping spin kick, which is legit called Avoiding the Puddle in Tekken for some bizarre reason. It looks like that, to be fair. It does seem like he's jumping over a puddle when you look at the move, but it's still funny how they named it that. And his entire channel's named that, despite him never being a Yoshimitsu main. But anyway.
I'm looking at his camera. It's all green, though, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. So, like, how Snake's camera is, like, making white appear as blue. At one point, Eris's camera fucked up and made everything look green, like it's in night vision mode forever. And he's corrected people several times that it's not, like, a night vision mode. His camera just fucked up, but he saw it as, like, a good luck thing. Because, like, it's just kind of cool that it's always been green. And he's like, yeah, so I never replaced it because it's kind of cool that it turned green, you know? It's like my lucky camera.
He just straight up like keeps it like that. No, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's contrast. All right, so because I've got a remote for this
camera,
I can mess with the contrast to make it more grey or even more blue.
I have one of those too, but I keep forgetting to buy that sticky putty that you told me about. That was like those little sticky clay things that you can use to like stick your lights to stuff. I keep forgetting to do that. So I have the lights back there behind me, but then I realized, what's the fucking point? You can't even see the stuff behind me because it's so far back. So what's the point? And even if you could, if I scooted my whole setup backwards, I'm tall, which is a problem because like I'd be taller than everything behind me. So if we scooted back, like you wouldn't be able to see anything on anything besides the top row. Damn, that's a lot of remotes.
Yeah.
He's very professional with this.
If you ever like get bored or buy new remotes, you should go to Best Buy and just leave those in random spots to confuse people and make them think they work on the TVs, but they don't. And just watch people get frustrated. Those Ninja remotes, man. I used to have so much fun with the display crap at Best Buy. I was a bit of a naughty boy. You know, I would take control of the computers and make them not anything inappropriate. They would actually like. All I did was actually go to. I'm such a loser nerd when it comes to pranks, dude. I'm like one of those memes where like they write 4x4 equals 16 on the back of a fucking pickup truck. I was doing shit like that. I just realized in hindsight. What I did pretty much was what a normal kid would have done as a prank probably would be like put porn on the computers, right, at Best Buy and make them all display
normal,
porn.
I guess.
As far as like a prank, like, you know, like, I'm in for like that age, like, because teenagers are always like unhinged, right, and can't be tamed. What I did was I just went into fucking Microsoft Paint, because every like computer has like Paint by default, and I just typed like computer broken, do not use, and I had it display on all the computers.
With MS Paint.
Yeah,
Then
you can still type in MS Paint.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you like wrote it, like drew it with the mouse or something like that. That would be so obvious. That would be way too obvious.
So, welcome to the new episode of Kombat Kings.
Hang on a second. I got an intro. I got a great intro for today's Kombat Kings podcast.
Of course you do.
Have you really?
Hey! Okay. 3, 2, 1. Where's everyone going? Kombat Kings? So that was a line from Resident Evil 4, and it's definitely absolutely the same
Oh my
line.
god.
So like
Really?
Perfectly we could reference that here, but yeah. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to episode I think 17 of Kombat Kings. We're your hosts, SonicHaXD, TrueUnderDawg, and the Force Snake. How you guys doing? How you guys feeling? And you're flashing us today. Not too sure why.
See, when the light goes on, you might notice it actually fixes the color correction, so it's not blue anymore.
So it just means that the light in the back isn't bright enough. It's perceiving it as blue because not all the light is reaching it, I guess. Does that mean blue travels further than other colors in the spectrum? At least in terms of cameras?
Too philosophical.
Interesting to think about. It's not philosophical. That's science, bitch. Sorry.
I think I can do that too if I like. Let's see, because I remember last time it's like whenever I do something like this, like I'll turn super bright or something. Not too sure.
It usually turns red too when you first cover a camera. That's why Toby Turner had that outro of darkness, then redness, then whiteness.
Kind of. Oh, that's a blast from the past, honestly. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Back when YouTube was more innocent and people weren't like as. I guess it wasn't as popular, so you didn't know as much about the YouTubers back then. They were just fun entertainers,
it is just
but then
those
we learned
YouTubers
everything.
who were like on the top, like basically just those guys for like a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, oh, the numbers are over like trillions or something that you can find to like entertain yourself.
Oh yeah, back then having over 1 million subs was like
Insane.
only an elite group of like 3 people.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, you don't have 1 million subs? What are you, like a normie? What are you, peasant? Like you can't get 1 million subscribers? And then there's me who's like, it's really hard to get subscribers now. Like YouTube unsubscribes people. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's super hard. It's hard to grow.
So guys, isn't it an amazing week? We got the MK12 reveal. Isn't that just insane, guys? How do you feel about that? Isn't that like the best trailer ever? Like, holy crap, man.
If I close my eyes, I can see it.
I'm just tired of Scorpion winning every single trailer.
Yeah. Even in this one, it was a bingo tournament, and he still won. Like, Sub-Zero can't even win a bingo match against Scorpion. This is bullshit.
Like, he can't have one skill that gives him an edge over Scorpion. Now, he's not as good in combat, so how about luck or the ability to play bingo? No, can't even have that. If they brought that motor combat, you just know the trailer would be like Scorpion like whacking Sub-Zero off the track and Sub-Zero dies in an explosion, which at least could be funny if he then was led into the reveal of Noob Saibot as a new playable character who just comes out the flames and he's like, ah.
That'd be so cool. That's too clever. That's like Nintendo level clever,
Sounds
which
very Michael
I don't
Bay.
think neither of them would ever do.
That would actually be a really clever thing to do for like since it's like a new timeline. Scorpion kills Sub-Zero in the trailer, then Sub-Zero becomes Noob Saibot, and it's actually a struggle. And then like Kuai Liang comes in, he's like, "I'll help you, Scorpion," and Scorpion's like, "Yeah, we're gonna kick Noob Saibot's ass." And Noob reveals a new character who's joining him as his new partner, and they have a fight.
Oh no,
But
it's
that's too clever,
Scorpion's
never will
wife.
ever do that.
Easy, there you go. That way it can be like, oh my
Yes.
god, what the fuck?
Yes.
Working with Bihan?
Yes.
Oh my god, we are predicting it right here.
Oh
Easy.
my god.
That's
just
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but that's actually a plot point in MK Chronicles. That's a thing that happens.
Really?
Yes.
Scorpion's like Harumi comes back and
Yeah,
to fight
because
Scorpion?
Quan Chi turns into a revenant specifically because Scorpion's not going to fight full force against her. So why doesn't the Necromancer bring back Scorpion's dead wife as his puppet to protect him from Scorpion?
Right. You just gave me a really terrible idea in my head for like a dark webcomic that would be the dark for the sake of a dark joke. Like it's just a one-off joke, and then it's done. You know, it could be like, hey, how was it in hell, Bihan? And Bihan could be like, pretty good. Dated your fucking dead wife, bitch. And Scorpion's like,
damn.
Like how could you?
I don't know what webcomic it's from. There's a webcomic where like the main character like sits on a bus and behind her a Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and Scorpion says, hey, watch this is the depression of your brother. He takes his mask off, show the skull, and he just goes.
I love that picture or that comic so much. It's great.
Sub-Zero's so angry.
What's also great is I'm pretty sure it takes Sub-Zero 2 panels to get it. Like the first panel he's like, huh? And then he's like actually mad when he realizes what he's doing. I would love that. And seeing as how apparently, according to NetherRealm, Noob Saibot is like the roast god, that is something he would say in Mortal Kombat 12. Is like, yeah, I just got back like from dating your girlfriend in hell, Hanzo.
I met your wife, Hanzo.
Oh my gosh, the voice!
She said my dick is bigger than yours.
Why does that doesn't sound like, that sounds like something else though, not just a Noob Saibot from MK11. I don't know, Venom or something?
From Inspector Gadget.
Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
Venom too. Yeah, old school
Darkseid in Super Friends sounded the exact same as well, and that was just the voice for villains back then.
They talk like this.
Instead of just
Which I
sound
always
like a normal
hated.
person.
Yeah, I always hated when they gave villains voices that like are clearly someone doing a voice. And that's why to this day I don't like Noob Saibot's new voice. I like MK9 so much better when he's just a guy.
It is more standout-ish, but yeah, it is like, this sounds more
But
normal.
in a bad way. That's the problem.
I just had a random thought too. So in my mind, it's now canon that when you become undead, you just get new powers, because it happened with Scorpion. He got Hellfire, right?
Yes.
But even Noob Saibot went from being a cryomancer. He still has a projectile that he throws. In my head, I like to imagine it's not a new technique. It's still the exact same method he uses to create an ice ball, but just the ghost ball comes out and he goes, ooh, look at that.
Maybe.
Ghost powers.
Unless if you're Revenants, then your abilities will stay the same.
Well, to an extent, because Liu Kang got the red fireball that
Liu
he
Kang.
used in MKX.
Liu Kang is the only
and
one
that's
that
like
has...
the one guy who got anything new.
It's even a Shang Tsung fireball too in MK11.
Doesn't
I
he
think
like
Night
suck
Wolf-
Liu Kang's soul in MK11 too? It's like, I learned this ability from Shinnok or something.
He got his soul sucked.
I think Nightwolf has like red tomahawks as well in MKX.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's a detail.
and like that's basically it.
Yeah.
I never even noticed that. I was just too busy looking at how metal and cool Nightwolf looks as a Revenant. He's one of the few characters that got a huge glow up when he's a dead guy.
In MKX or MK11?
11, like Nightwolf looks really
Okay.
cool in 11. Like he's
I was gonna say because
Sorry.
MKX is literally just the MK9 design,
Yeah.
but like with grey skin.
yeah, he's still yoked as fuck though, which I do miss. Like yoked Nightwolf, where he's like super buff.
I do like his
They made him
MK9
normal in
design
11.
mainly, especially going back. I'm not saying the new ones are bad, but like 9, Nightwolf I do like a bit more. Yeah.
You know what you should do? Because he's voiced by a comedian, you should try look up some of that comedian's work and try and find some jokes you can like dub Nightwolf with.
I did not know
That's
that.
cool.
Let's see.
I did see like I think he cosplayed him recently too, and he's like been voice acting Nightwolf for 4
Oh
years.
no,
And
that's the MK11 guy. I mean the MK9 guy.
Oh sorry, yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, okay, interesting.
Larry Omaha.
Yeah. Oh, but the guy from MK11, I looked at that picture and I was like, for some reason, the helmet looks like CGI'd on. It doesn't look like natural. So I don't know if he wore that. Then maybe the rest of the costume was, because that's like, Nightwolf's an easy character to cosplay.
I guess
It's just
so.
a leather jacket and jeans.
And
Like,
face
it's so
paint.
easy.
It's kind
And
of
face
easy
paint.
if you don't mind getting canceled. If you're afraid of getting canceled, it's actually the trickiest cosplay.
That's sort of true. That is sort of true.
Got to navigate those waters. I certainly wouldn't do it. I feel like that Smiling Friends episode where it's like, no, dude, I'm not wearing a costume to the party. But it's a costume party. I don't care, man. You don't know what's going to be offensive in 10 years. I'm not dressing up.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite episodes. Just like, it was basically like 80% a horror episode, but like it was still has super funny parts in that one. Oh,
The show overall is pretty good. It's not
Smiling
great
Friends
like
is
some
so
people
good.
told me it was,
I love Smiling
but
Friends.
it's good. Yeah. It's funny. I wanted to say this one last thing, then we can finally get back on topic. I'm sorry it got derailed so quickly.
Oh, no problem. This is normal Monday for us.
Yeah, the MK11 Nightwolf actor, he said in his tweet when cosplaying Nightwolf, he was like 4 years of voicing Nightwolf, and I'm like, is it really though? Pretty sure you just voice acted him for like a month, and then you're probably done, because I don't think it takes that long
4
to
years
of your voice lines.
I mean, okay. To be fair, I'm pretty sure he had new lines for Combat Pack 2, so he at least give him the benefit of the doubt for that.
And also for Aftermath, because he shows up in Aftermath.
Yeah.
So
maybe there is some unreleased like DLC from like MKX, and then maybe like he was in a Legends movie, but then he didn't make it in. Oh yeah, remember he had a Revenant version of himself with Snowblind and stuff like that. Huh? But they weren't used. Maybe that's why it's 4 years.
Unless he's in Onslaught and has just not been released yet, because there may have been some leaked lines.
Possible.
Or maybe he's in MK12 as well, and we just don't know yet.
Shout out to the writers of Snowblind for including Revenants, but not having to use any of the dead heroes.
Oh, except Nightwolf.
Oh, does he show up?
Yeah, Nightwolf. He shows up for like one scene. It's like, oh my gosh, that's Nightwolf.
Oh.
Or at least it looks a lot like him.
You know what? I'm gonna make sure right now. I got the director's commentary.
It could be his brother, Daydog. It could be his younger brother, Daydog.
Daydog.
You got Nightwolf and Daydog. Yep.
I'll look it up later.
There's a little Easter egg, Nightwolf. Yeah. We've been trying to get him into one of these films for a while now, and he gets in one shot as a Revenant. So there you go, all you Nightwolf fans. We did it.
But yeah, other than that, no other Revenants was like specially designed. They were just like regular zombie characters and stuff. Well, in deleted scenes you can see more like designed Revenants, but yeah, everyone's like a zombie.
Oh yeah. That stuff is fun, man. I miss when I had that passion. I used to be the guy who would literally watch the behind the scenes for every video game that I played, and God of War was the best because they had like 3 hours of behind the scenes and making of and stuff.
That's insane.
And I used to love that shit. But ever since I stopped being like a game designer and like an animator, I don't give a shit anymore. The passion is gone.
It's very fun to research that for Mortal Kombat, for my videos and stuff like that. It's really, really fun to like either to look at to see, wow, so this is the idea behind these awesome, cool things. Or when it's something really bad, it's like, wow, you guys actually thought this was a good idea. Holy shit, this is hilarious. kind of a thing.
And you know what I find bizarrely interesting too? I love when I catch something in a previous trailer or something that was completely changed, and I'm like, oh, that's not like that anymore. Like in the final game, like that was never the case. I just noticed recently, for example, I watched the very first ever premiere of Mortal Kombat X gameplay. Not even the trailer, but that little snippet they showed where it's just like Ferritor, Devora, and Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and like that's it. And they're just like, they have a couple intro dialogues and they fight. So here's something I noticed, and it's crazy to me. The sound the characters make when they do their fatal blow is the same sound you get in Injustice when you do an armored attack. The little pew, like sound effect. They added that sound effect temporarily in the Mortal Kombat X trailer, and you can hear it when Ferritor does his fatal blow or his X-ray. It makes a little Injustice sound effect, and I was like, oh shit! they used that just for that trailer because they needed a placeholder.
That's cute.
Crazy.
That's cute.
It's like when it's like how Sub-Zero does Rain's X-ray in MK9 during the launch trailer, but it's not that way in the actual game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. Like how they move stuff over and like change who can do what. It's really interesting to me.
In Snowblind, there was a pretty funny one too. The first trailer that came out, there's a very weird part at the very end. You can hear Shang Tsung talking, but for some reason they pitched up his voice, so instead of him sounding like it sounds like a little like a higher for some reason. But the one that I found really funny was there's a scene in the trailer where you see like Kuai Liang fighting with like Kenshi, and that was because in the movie it was because Kuai Liang was trying to stop Kenshi. It's like, you're gonna get yourself killed if you go and do that and stuff like that. But in the trailer, however, they fight, pa 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 pa, and he knocks him down on the ground, and Kuai Liang reaches his hand out and he says, "Let's save Earthrealm together." And then Kenshi says, "I do things my own way."
Let's protect Earthrealm and end this right now.
This is my fight.
So it's like,
oh
okay,
god, they just like straight lie about it.
That's completely different. That's like, or maybe that's a completely unused line or something like that. But like that changes like that whole scene. It's really funny.
There's one I know, which is with Deception when they were first showing off Harakiris. You know the one where Kenshi like gets his sword and like cuts through himself a bit and then just dies.
The normal Harakiri.
Scorpion had that originally.
Oh, that makes sense.
Not
too
too shocking.
And
yeah.
then they change it to the.
Some of the harakiri are so funny, dude.
Like Tandy's the funniest one, where she like rips like big like bones out of her legs, like big slabs of meat stuff on them, sticks them in her eyes, and dies.
Like, what the?
Tanya's is the most over the top, as far as like that was way too much pain to cause yourself when it should be a quick death. My favorite is still forever going to be Sindel's, because she just does a swan dive onto her own neck, and it's just so perfect.
The best part about that harakiri is like in a lot of like, I think even you did this, Snake, but like whenever you have to explain in your video like the lore of Mortal Kombat, it's like blah 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 blah, and because Adenia got taken over, Sindel was forced to wed Shao Kahn, and so she committed suicide. Everybody will use that clip to emphasize she committed suicide, her harakiri, and you just always see that for her suicide.
Very bold of them to say commit suicide on YouTube. It's not usually allowed anymore. You got to say like commit unalive or
I love
themselves.
the. Have you heard of the word game end?
It was allowed back then.
It was allowed back then. You're right. Yeah, it was allowed for a time.
I think the word game end is super funny to me. It's because you can't say die, so you have to say game ending. It's time to
Game
game
end,
end.
yeah.
Oh, game end. Yeah. I thought you were saying gay men. I was like, well, you're not allowed to say gay men on YouTube anymore? What's going
Gay man.
Even
It's time to
for
gay
YouTube,
man.
but, as my own form of like censorship as a joke, I used to say they rage quit real life. Is what I used to say. And, but it's not always rage is the thing. But I thought it was funny enough to me that they pull out the router, you know.
Ooh,
but
actually, now that
I can't believe that Snowblind did an actual Last of Us 2 moment, huh? They just straight up lie about what's in the.
Oh yeah, it's not that bad
Last
though.
of Us
It's not
2.
that bad, but it is kind of funny.
I mean, where's Kano on the poster?
Yeah, that one still baffles me. I get it. It's to subvert your expectations to
right.
make thinking, oh, Shang Tsung will still be the big boss and stuff like that. Like that was the point of why they do it. But I really do think they should have just put Kano in the poster, since he takes up more screen time and stuff like that.
And it's funny because I'm not a huge Shang Tsung fan, right? So I don't care too much about it. I think he deserved it to die, like, embarrassingly. But imagine being a Shang Tsung fan and, like Snake is saying, you don't know what the movie's about. You just, like, see the cover and go, oh, Shang Tsung's in this movie. I'm going to buy this. And then you buy it and you're like, what the fuck, bro?
You have a film where Quan Chi's the main villain, then you have one where Shao Kahn's the main villain slash the one being, and then it's like, okay, so now finally we get to see Shang Tsung, the real final boss. I liked him in Aftermath. He was great. I will watch this movie, and then he dies so easily to Kano of all people. Kano.
Actually, now you think about it, Shang Tsung really just takes a bunch of L's in the Legends series. Actually, can never.
Shang Tsung loses to a man who already died in these films. That's how embarrassing it is.
If it hasn't been done, somebody watching has to make a snotty boy glow up meme, but with King Kano.
Oh, I'll have to think about that. If he shows up back in cage match somehow.
I mean, Snowblind is King Kano. MK11's is Kink Kano, because damn boy.
Damn boy.
Damn. Yeah, my MK11 sucks video on Kano was just like nothing but trying to make it horny for no reason. Just because.
Whoever made that ending for Kano in MK11 was responsible for so much Rule 34 art, and I hope they're proud of themselves. Genuinely, I'm not even being sarcastic.
Are you talking
I hope
about
they're proud
because
of
the SonicHaXD part, or?
Yeah, the Sonya and Cassie in like battle bikinis.
Yeah, of course.
That ass was drawn very well.
It is super funny, the disconnect between like the direction of Mortal Kombat to like be a bit more sensory and the endings that don't give a shit.
I think in one of the Jax or Cassie.
You notice
who's Arcade?
You notice how MK11 retconned a bunch of the MK9 designs, like with the way the characters look in the game, but you go back to like Jackie's ending where you see the events of MK9, and like Kitana and Jade are just in their MK9 outfits.
Yes, I remember that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the MK9 like costume and stuff like that.
Awesome.
I have to assume, and I think I've heard this before, and because back when I was listening to the synopsis of MK11, I was thinking like, oh my gosh, does that mean that we're going to literally get like their MK9 models or costumes, like they're gonna come back and look exactly like that? That'd be so cool, because it's like time travel shenanigans, but it's like no. When we're pulling them from the past, it's from a different past or some shit like that. I was like, oh. Okay, so we're not gonna get those designs.
Yeah,
I mean, people say that to justify all the retcons, but the reality of the game never suggests that's the case. The characters are just meant to be from MK9.
Well, there was one very clear example of why it's a different world. It's because like Raiden was like saying Kung Lao just defeated the champion. So it's like in this world, Kung Lao won like against Shang Tsung.
Well, no, they mean the actual canon fight, which is Kentaro and.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
Damn it. Okay, in that case, I'm wrong about that.
They say he's just beaten the Deadly Alliance, but like the way Khan presents it in Aftermath is like he was moments away from snapping Kung Lao's neck.
Yeah, I remember that part too.
Yeah. I just love how it's canon that somehow this big beefy motherfucker Shao Kahn has like perfect sneak ability and managed to almost pull it off again. Like this motherfucker for some reason.
I am going to talk about that.
It's in broad daylight and there's nothing obstructing the view. Like, is he standing perfectly behind Kung Lao's silhouette so like even Raiden can't see him? Like, what's going on here?
I'm going to actually talk about that in my recent video. I'm gonna cause a hurricane with that. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
You know what's funny? I forgot about this, but Shao Kahn does know telepathy in the old games, like in 3D games to an extent. Like he has it because you see him do it in Armageddon. It's one of his moves to like grab you and like swing you back and forth with his telekinesis.
Oh, okay. This I did not
so
really
theoretically, if NetherRealm remembered that, they could have had him snap Kung Lao's neck from a distance, and it would have made like perfect sense.
Oh, that'd be very OP for Shao Kahn if he did that.
Once you establish a character can do that, like, they literally should never lose another fight. Like that's just bullshit.
Oh, okay. To be fair though, that's kind of Ermac.
That's true for so many things.
That's kind of Ermac.
It's like when you bring in a character who just has a gun. Like how can Stryker lose a fight against anyone?
Well, that's why it's my headcanon that the Mortal Kombat characters are bulletproof to an extent, or bullet resistant. It's my own headcanon, like how in Tekken, like Heihachi is bulletproof. He can catch a bullet with his fucking teeth. So it's my own headcanon that the Mortal Kombat warriors are so tough that bullets aren't lethal to them. Now, that being said, the game sure treats it like it is in the cutscenes.
Yeah, I think
that's how Kano dies.
I think Ed Boon once said before, he was like, "Oh, in game anybody can take bullets, but like when it's cutscene world, like only Raiden can probably survive a bullet to the head." So everyone
that's just so
die.
dumb. Like, I mean, they can throw fireballs and shit. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to be like bullet resistant through sheer training. Like, do the Dragon Ball Z shit. Even Krillin is bulletproof when he trains. Like, it's just a thing. You know, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Now the problem is that would make Stryker useless, and it would also make Aaron Black useless. But I mean, that's kind of canon anyway.
Aaron Black's already useless. Yeah. So
I was going to say, it's bizarre how useless they made him.
I was going to say, realistically, the only characters that could realistically take Stryker in a fight would be like Cassie, Jackie, and Aaron Black. Except Aaron Black can't hit a target to save his life, so it can only be Cassie and Jackie. Although Sonya does have a pistol to kill Kano in that one scene that she never uses anywhere else.
That's true,
actually. She just has a pistol. But Jax has a handgun in one scene, but then in like the revised version, Aftermath, he has an assault rifle, I think.
Well, don't forget that Cassie Cage has a whole ass fucking drone that only shows up for gameplay.
In the gameplay.
And is non-existent in every single cutscene. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
she never has the drone.
Sonya was the same in MKX. She had a drone that she's never in the cutscenes.
With her, it's a bit less egregious because it's only in one variation. Cassie's entire gameplay revolves around that fucking drone. Like
half her intros and victory poses. She has a thrower. Which admittedly is one of the best throws in the game, where she like lifts you up and like slams you into the drone. That's great. But like, why does the drone not do anything during gameplay? Like that could have
story.
That could. Yes, that's what I mean. Sorry, that should have been transporting the explosives around and planting them.
Yeah, from like the intro dialogues and stuff, it almost makes it feel like it's a pet and that kind of sort of way. I would love to see how they would implement that in the story and stuff.
Imagine if you know when she jumps out of cover into Kano's already firing bullets. Imagine if instead she was like, "Hey drone, sneak up on him and like zap him," and he goes and drops his gun. That would have been the smart thing to do with an ability you allegedly have.
It's clear that the gameplay came after story. We know that for how NetherRealm works. They always do the story first. So clearly she did not have the drone when they were writing the story, which is fine. You know what's a bigger implication though from the gameplay that's never being addressed and never will probably? Cassie Cage learned how to transfer her glow into objects. And we're just like, no one's talking about it. She can make her bullets have Johnny Cage powers. That's crazy, the implications. Like, theoretically, Cassie Cage could grab a coffee cup, and now it's an Elder God destroying coffee cup that she could throw at Shinnok and hurt him. Like, she actually hurt him with it.
That green glowing thing, like, is one of those things that kind of ticks me off about, like, lore reasons, because, like, I remember I discussed that, too. It's like, oh, so this is the reason why Shinnok is defeated. And then Johnny will say things like, I'm never able to summon that green glow thing ever again. Unless if it's gameplay, then I totally can do it anytime I want. And even Cassie Cage like never activates her green glowing thing until the very end, except for that one time when she's fighting Ferritor, then she could totally still use the green glowing thing and stuff like that. It's like
It's a different shade of green. It's a slightly different shade of green.
I have to imagine it means. I have to imagine it means specifically like the protective shield variant, and that the offensive version is just available all the time. Because otherwise, yeah, like it's just been a thing that Johnny could just use any time.
That's MK9, yeah. You can throw the green balls in MK9.
It's just he's always been able to do it, and he can just use it whenever. But then it's like, oh well, this specific variant never came back, the protective thing. But then it's like, but if that's what he's talking about, then how does that give him the edge over Shinnok other than protecting him? How does it give him the power to beat Shinnok? Unless it also buffs his like physical attributes as well and makes his like melee attack stronger.
It's kryptonite.
Technically is technically is what the green glow already does when he's doing the shadow kick.
Yeah,
He's already enveloping him to do the attack. So it was a weird choice. I get why they did it. I think it was just specifically because they knew fans would be upset if Cassie beat the Shinnok when like the old characters couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I think it was just a way to be like, well, the new character is good, but she's not like explicitly being presented as better than the old characters you already love, because no one likes when that happens.
Oh yeah,
no one likes it. It always pisses the fan base off. So I think it was a way to avoid that. It's just the way they went about it was a little could have been thought out better, I think.
Yeah, honestly.
I just realized hindsight is 2020, right? But they could have fixed this really easily, and made it also match with the gameplay and not break the lore. So Johnny Cage in MKX, when he's like at 2% health or some ridiculously low percent, like it's way too low, his green energy attacks all turn to red, and he gets a damage buff.
Oh, I kind of
They could have made it the red glow, and that would have been what defeats Shinnok, and it would explain why he only got the red glow when he got knocked around a little bit by Shinnok. And same with Cassie Cage, when she's knocked around a little bit, she gets the red glow, and it's like, oh, she can only do that when she's like at death's door.
Exactly.
That would have been
something
such
like
an
that,
easier solution.
Which would be good because the red has been there since MK2 as a variation. That I think it just occasionally would pop up at random originally.
I didn't know that. That's so cool.
But that is a long-term thing in MK, and so to take that and say this is a stronger version of the green glow that can only tap into under certain conditions.
Yeah,
that's a way better idea.
That is. That actually.
And again,
job.
hindsight is 2020 though. You know, I always try to be humble and know that hindsight is 2020.
To be fair though, like that green glowy thing is like such a plot irrelevance in like MK11. So like it's more of an MKX thing though, I will say. Well, I mean, it is brought up though. It's like, well, I mean, the cages have the strong abilities. What do we do, Dad? Jax says Jackie and stuff like that.
You know the scene in Aftermath where Sonya is like on the ground and like been knocked out by Sindel, and then Cassie comes up and fights Sindel, and like, but the point is Sonya's on the ground, she's in danger from Sindel, and Cassie doesn't activate the glow.
Neither does Johnny. Yep, neither one can activate the glow.
I still think it's so funny that she got knocked out with one kick.
Yeah.
Just
one off-guard kick, man.
Kick.
It must have been a 1 in a million temple kick. Must have got her like right in the temple or something. Right?
Yeah.
That's the only explanation.
Very
lucky. I mean, that is how Sindel took her down in MK9. Just like booted her in the face, and she went down to the.
Oh yeah. Sonya and Johnny get like pop really easily for like one kick. Oh, you know, I can't go too much into that because I've got a huge bunch of stuff to talk about that in MK9 video. But yeah, that whole scene is fun to analyze.
Yeah, I understand they wanted MK11 to not be about Johnny Cage because like MKX was all about like Johnny Cage and the cages. But it's still so sad to me how they walked back his amazing development, because when you think about it, Johnny Cage was indirectly becoming the Goku of Mortal Kombat, where he was just learning new stuff off screen. Because don't forget what he can do in MKX. He can legit create a duplicate of himself. Like, he's mastered the green glow so much that he can create a fucking after image. Like, he has the clone ability. Remember his stunt double ability? That's so cool. Well, yeah, he can literally double himself.
Is that his variation, right? The variation?
Yeah, it's a variation ability. He can like legit he pops his neck, and a second Johnny Cage like of green just shows up behind him and like mirrors his attacks. And I'm like, bro, imagine he pulled that out in MK11 and how hype that shit would have been. Well, if he's just learning new shit off screen.
He does pull that off in MK11. It's called the stunt double variant.
Yeah, but it's an actual stunt double. Which
it's actually a stunt double.
It's so goofy. Yeah, I love that. So it's okay. What we got was better, honestly. I love that he pulls out a crappy stunt double.
It is funny, yeah. It's a stunt double.
I also love how the stunt double is purposely like less jacked than Johnny. Like he's just a bit flabby.
It's just and the marker is drawn on him with like the Johnny Cage tattoo.
Yeah.
I think he's blonde as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's blonde. Yeah. Just so you know, it's not him. It's not Johnny Cage, everybody. It's a stunt double.
It's Jimmy Cage.
Jimmy Cage.
It would have been even funnier if they did it with because there's like these running jokes that like in a lot of low budget Bollywood films and stuff, how there'll be a lady in a scene, but because she can't do the action scene, there's a stunt double, but the stunt double's a guy with a wig. Imagine they did something similar with like Cassie Cage, where like her stunt double is like legit a dude. Like, if you look closely, you're like, wait a minute, it's a dude in the wig.
or it's like a guy who's like super jacked, like Shao Kahn, Kotal Kahn level, just wearing like a little blonde wig.
If I was working at NetherRealm, I definitely would have snuck that into a cutscene in the background as a joke that like in one of the scenes in the back when Johnny Cage is fighting, it's not Johnny Cage, it's his stunt double. And if you notice it, you're like a Giga Chad.
So it's like when they fucked up and put Hanzo in there instead of Scorpion.
Oh
like,
my gosh, that is so hilarious still.
Thanks for that, Sonic, by the way. You gave me a pretty successful YouTube short.
Oh, nice.
With that
That's
info.
awesome.
Yeah.
One thing I
Did
do
you
like
know that
is
in Mortal
I
Kombat
never
11
knew about this either, but like because of Snake's video, now I know they updated that. So now it's fixed, right, in the current cutscenes.
Yeah, which I believe I think that's the one time they actually fixed that. But they also did fix Raiden, where he would still have his amulet during gameplay, but they removed that via patch. But I think Kano, like past Kano, when you fight him as Sonya, he's still got the wrong chest piece.
Oh. You can't catch
I
it
did
all,
just
man.
look it up, by the way. Yeah, there is the basically Johnny can like summon like his stand to go like fight for him, like for the move and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's also called stunt
hang on,
double too.
hang on.
That variation's called stunt double.
Johnny with a stand? Are you saying he is Johnny Joestar?
Hey!
I would totally be down. I would fucking love that shit.
I'm excited for that next season. It's also yellow glowing apparently when he uses the stunt double variant. So now he has red glowing and green glowing and yellow glowing. Huh.
He's a lantern. I'm telling you guys, he has the emotional color spectrum. All right, what's the actual topic for today? What's the first topic?
Well, actually, 10 or 20 minutes ago, we were talking about like censorship shenanigans. There was one thing I was about to clickbait, but I forgot to do. We got demonetized! Oh my gosh! What? We got our first video demonetized, and it just so happened to be a video called like demonetization in Mortal Kombat or something like that episode of the podcast.
Yeah, you can't put it in the title. I swear, like YouTube takes that as a fucking challenge and will actually demonetize you.
Well, here's the thing though. I think I know I have the answer. Yeah, demonetized Mortal Kombat content, that's what it's called. I have the answer as to why we got demonetized in that episode. It's because that's the episode where Snake, you were about to reveal your cosplay, you know, and you're doing like the. I always make it very suggestive, like you're zipping up, gotta get naked or something like that, about to show off and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I make like censorship there. But no, that's not why you got demonetized though. The reason why you got demonetized is because you're about like, all right, gotta check this out. But are you guys ready to see? And I say, your cock. And then specifically YouTube, I think that's the reason why I got demonetized. They were like, in your first 10 seconds, right here, 7 seconds here, there's like a little bit of a naughty word or something like that. So apparently, chicken is not the right word to be used during that. During that part.
Okay, so the lesson takeaway is if we ever do have that happen again, replace the word cock with
you can just say penis. I don't think penis is that a bad word, right? Penis.
Technically, a scientific term should not be banned. Yeah, it should be allowed to say like the actual name of something.
Yeah.
I've been on the hunt for a while. I want to have a sound effect that's recognizable from a fighting game, but isn't just like completely derailing the sentence. You know. Like, I can't do Hadouken, because then it would ruin the sentence. Like, man, this mother Hadouken game.
Oh, so are you saying kind of like how I do with my videos, where like whenever I censor my words, I use the Mortal Kombat theme?
Oh, you do? What do you put?
Oh, you don't know? Whenever I censor
I forgot.
You always hear the Ben, like whenever it's like whenever I censor a word for my YouTube videos, you always hear like that's the Mortal Kombat theme song. That one beat. Yeah, wait, I can just send it here. See if I can.
Oh, the
gong.
Oh yeah, I thought it was a horn, just like a loud horn. Like, boom.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, that
yeah,
legit
true.
is straight up just like the the Mortal Kombat theme song, and that's what I used to.
That's clever. It's very clever, that one.
Yeah, because a lot of YouTubers do that. They always use like a funny like video game sound effect to like do sensors and stuff like that instead of just like the burp, the normal stuff. So like, yeah, just like, oh, Mortal Kombat content. Why not just use that basically? The back in like 2019, when I did more Beastars content. The opening to Beastars was a saxophone, so it's like and then it's very very iconic in the show. So whenever I swear in there, you always hear you just hear like a horn, like that. That's my sensor when I was making those videos back then too.
Did you never do a bit where Jax plays his saxophone and like that's the music he plays?
Well, my Beastars and Mortal Kombat content weren't like very connected back then. It went from Beastars to Mortal Kombat. Like that's the transition there. So basically, it wasn't like that connected. That's a good joke though. I'll think about that.
You could do it with Nightwolf's alternate costume in MK9 though, because he's got like, the wolf pelt.
Yeah, yeah.
They used to pretend that's like what's his name, like
Legoshi,
whatever he's called. Yeah, just pretend that it's him, and he's like, "Oh, he's in Mortal Kombat." Then you have Jax doing the music.
I could think of that as a short. I think that's really a fun short idea. Yeah, totally.
I do recall back before we were buddies, I saw how you went from like Mortal Kombat sucks to just Beastars, and I was like, "That's quite a swerve."
That's a very weird timing because like from 2019, I kind of blew up with my Beastars like stuff. And then at the end of 2019 was when I made my KK Sucks videos. Kodokan Sucks, Sony Sucks, and Kano Sucks, and they did poorly. They were not popping off at all. So I had Chronica Sucks planned already, but I was just like, screw it, it's not blowing up. I'm gonna continue my Beastars content because that one's kind of doing success. So the anime is about to come out. Let me review that. I reviewed that, and like out of nowhere, it's like, oh shit, all 3 of those videos are reaching like 100,000, 200,000 views. Let me make a Frost Sucks now just to capitalize on this success. And then one thing led to another. I just kind of blew up with Mortal Kombat stuff because of that. So yeah, that's how I kind of came into the Mortal Kombat scene.
And now you're stuck editing a podcast every couple of weeks.
It's my fate.
And we love you for it.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
And so do the fans, and even friends of the channel have expressed that your editing is really solid.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you so much.
Also, for what it's worth, one of my close friends doesn't watch my videos, oddly enough, even though he used to before he became my friend. But he does make sure never to miss an episode of the Combat Kings, which means that he enjoys this more than my content. So
because your content's bad.
I was gonna say priorities. I wasn't gonna be that mean. I was gonna be that mean. I was just gonna say priorities. Hey, now don't worry about it. Your content will be good once MK12 comes out.
Time to unplug the router, boys.
This is getting we should not be bullying TrueUnderDawg. That comes later. But for now, that's come back.
I'm the one you can bully because you're punching up, I guess. So I'm the one who's like allowed to get bullied.
Come back and half that one, mate.
We are on our pun games today. Speaking of MK12, do we have anything to say about MK12 actually? Because I think that's
no, because there's literally nothing to say. Like there's nothing's been announced. It's going to happen at some point, but there's nothing to say about it really.
The interesting thing to me, how many people believe that April was the month, and like everyone's just saying like get ready, here are all the leaks, here are all the stuff. It's like April is the time and stuff like that. And it's about to go, but now it's like May is the time, and this time there seems to be more credible like sources why May would be the time. So that is kind of interesting to me how that's been changing.
Reason one, Mortal May. Reason 2, that's it.
Hell yeah, that's very lucky for you.
Was there some anniversary in April? Is that one reason why people thought that it was going to be revealed in April? Is there anything Mortal Kombat related with April?
No.
Well, MK11
usually when a new game comes out.
Yeah,
so
MK11 and MKX were released in April. I think that's why.
I think people just assumed if there's no game. I think people assume if there's no game coming out in April, that must be when they're going to announce it. But there's actually no basis.
And then there's also
Twitter because I think on Twitter they released like the MK11 thing, right? And they kept doing like every game
the
in
countdown.
order, and they showed MK11, and people were like, "Oh, MK11, like it should be time."
It's time.
But
and then we got blue-balled.
There might have been some FGC event in April. maybe that may have helped lead to that.
Listen, I play fighting games, so I'm a big fan of the option select. So here's my option select, okay? They were planning to release it in April, but it got delayed. I'm not wrong. You're all wrong.
Copium. Ah, shoot. There was the...
I always think back to like how Brusque Poet is so brutal with that stuff. Like he'll put copium whenever like people are predicting something, and as a result, it applies to me so often. And I'm like, damn you.
Just copium.
It's like just more copium.
I think he taught me that word basically was how many times he used it like a year ago and stuff like that. Now I just can't stop using it. It's such a good meme. Just copium.
Because he's such a zoomer. Brusque, the zoomer.
Yeah, he actually has a couple of memes that you can see in my Snowblind video too. Is like just straight up like, I don't know if he made it or not, but he shared them, so I just use those in my Snowblind video.
So can you confirm then, after a month's time, Sonic, when we got demonetized, compare the revenue earnings compared to with or without demonetization? Because there's a bit of a debate between content creators. YouTube says that when you're demonetized, it doesn't affect channel growth, and it's only limited ads. You're not like completely defunded. But most YouTubers claim that when you get that yellow symbol, it cuts away like 90% of your earnings for like the video. It's not like a half cut. It's like you lose pretty much all money on the video. So you can confirm it at some point with your analytics if that happened, if we had a huge cut in earnings, or if it barely affected us at all.
I can check right now. So I'm gonna look at some of the other videos we've done just to see the differences in terms of our earnings. Okay, so well, that video was very successful though. Let me see, just in comparison, a little bit more similar video. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say. Okay, here we go. Here's a video that's around the same views here. From what I'm seeing right here, it got about the same amount of money, revenue as the videos that like we had before, and when that's the same views. So I guess well, to be fair, we got demonetized like a lot later, so now it's not getting like a lot of views compared to before. So probably
that's always nice when you're demonetized late. Like, for some reason, guys, I'm warning you real quick because we're on the subject. Don't use any more animated film footage in your videos from the Mortal Kombat films, like the new ones. You will get completely copyright claimed. Like, it's happened to almost all my videos that have footage from those fucking movies, and it bothers me because I have actual agents. I have like resources at WB that can free me from music problems. I don't have anybody who can free me from the visual stuff. So when I complain to them and go, hey guys, you know how I'm a partner with Warner Brothers? They claimed one of my videos. Can you free it? And they go, sorry bro, we only got music covered. Damn it.
Yeah, those animated movies are fucking brutal. I forgot if I told you guys about this about when I was making Battle of the Realms, but like I had to remake the video 14 times just so it wouldn't be copyright claim.
Because it never tells you like there's an issue with it. Here. It's always there's an issue here. So you fix that, then it's like, okay, well after that there's an issue here.
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't you tell about the first time? Give me a list of every single thing that's tripping this up, so I can go back and remove each and every one of them. Is there re-rendering? Like, how long was the video? Like 2 hours?
A Battle of the Realms video that was almost like an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah.
I didn't think about how long it is. That makes it so much worse for you.
Because it's a problem of you have to re-edit it, re-render it, re-upload it. And then after it's done processing, then you'll get it at some point within the next few days, maybe.
I might have a potential hack for you to help cheat that. So maybe only render 1/4 of your video at a time.
I did do that.
Upload 1/4 of it, and if it gets cleared, and then just keep moving forward. Yeah.
I did do that. Actually, you know what's there can be an even more ass sometimes. I did that for my Snowblind video. I uploaded 10 minute for like 40, 50 minutes, and it's all fine. Then when I clipped it all together. Oh, actually, in that 10-minute one, you had no problems. There's gotta be a problem in there when it's an hour long, though. Like, what the what? Huh? It's
definitely something about how it checks differently each time. Like, it can't be a consistent machine. Like, there's gotta be something, because there's no reason for it to do that otherwise. Like, it's so annoying.
I do have a funny story to mention about this again. So
go for it, King.
Oh, thank you. Just recently, by the time this is out, my very first Mortal Kombat 9 Sucks video will be out, the Shang Tsung video. And I talked about this with you guys before, but that video got age restricted actually, which really surprised me. I was like, what? Like, Really? I don't think I've ever gotten an age restriction because it's not that I usually show like really gratuitous footage and stuff, or when I do, I will like censor it with the kick and wheelchair censor bars and stuff like that. So I uploaded it and it got age restricted. I was like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'm gonna re-upload this new version, and in this new version, I haven't started like censoring or like doing more like like censoring basically for like the more fatality footage in there. And the very first version I uploaded, it had whenever I had like fatalities or gameplay footage stuff, it would be a black screen because I haven't recorded that yet. So later on I went into the game to record that footage. So I uploaded the second version, and this time it contained about 5 fatalities, like Cyrex getting fatality by Shiva, getting fatality by Baraka, and like all this sort of things. And then I uploaded that version, and it was fine. It didn't get age restricted. So I'm like, what? What? That has black screens. Were you offended more by black screens than like cut parts being cut off? Like what the?
Yes. Yes, I've mentioned this before in my videos, or at least in the comments section. I've mentioned this to people. They're like, why do you use the MK logo instead of using your puns? Like, because back in the day when I censored stuff, I put a black block over it, and there'd be an actual character-related pun on the black square, which made it funny. Like, it was clever, I thought, you know? And like you said, for some reason, it's not enough to cover it up, because the YouTube AI is programmed to think that when you censor something, that it's an inappropriate thing. So you can get demonetized for trying to follow the rules because it thinks you're hiding something naughty. And it's like, why is something naughty in your video at all, mister? So sometimes not censoring something can be the way to get around it, which is super stupid. But that's why I use the Mortal Kombat logo whenever I censor something, because like the AI is not trained to think that a logo is censorship. So I use a logo, I use an emoji, I will never use a black square anymore, I'll never pixelate anything, I'll never do filters, because YouTube's trained to think that's bad.
Okay.
In fact, it got so bad at one point that YouTube was even programmed to get mad at you when you censored a curse word with the cliche bleep that TV shows do and stuff. It thought that that was bad. So it would get mad at you for censoring the bad word. And it's like, what do you want me to do, YouTube? You don't like bad words. And I made a whole meme about this on Twitter, if you want to put it on screen, Sonic, the Man Ray scene from SpongeBob, when it's like, you hate curse words. Yep. And you have an AI that can find the curse words. Yep. So why don't you just like use that AI to mute the curse words? Nope, demonetized. but why?
Well, I'll give you one good news though. In terms of our Combat Kings,
like good news.
In terms of our Combat Kings like podcast, we average about like 2,000-3,000 views per like video. But our last video we made, the Mortal Kombat 9 video, actually we got double the amount of views on that one.
I saw that.
Yeah, so happy to see that. It's like, thank you guys for the support.
So what you're saying is we should milk Mortal Kombat 9 in like every single thing. Like, we got to do it, baby. You got to lean into it. Got to make it hard. You know, you got to give the people what they want. You said, real quick, we said there's no MK12 news, which is true. But I think it'd be fun to mention this in case like people don't watch my videos but watch this podcast. So there was a rumor that like Tanya was going to be in MK12 because her name and files are in Onslaught, but she's not in Onslaught. It's just a generic lady model. Unfortunately, they did add Tanya in a recent update, and it's just her MKX look. So it could be that Tanya is no longer confirmed for MK12 and could in fact be deconfirmed. But the interesting thing is they completely changed her voice actress. I don't know if that makes it more likely or less likely that she's in 12, but it's a completely different voice, and it does not fit Tanya at all. Like, they did the worst possible casting for her voice actress, because Tanya's whole thing, ever since her first appearance, is that she has a voice that she could masquerade as a good guy. Like, she could betray you, you know? She's like a femme fatale, if you will.
Yeah,
right? Like, she can totally, like, persuade you. She can even trick the villains. Like, she totally persuades Melina, like in MKX, although they want to pretend that they're shipped now in 11 when she was totally betraying Melina in MKX and just using that feminine charm. But in MK Onslaught, she has the butchest, like, scariest lady voice I've heard in a while. She's like, "I'll take your life." And I'm like, oh, damn.
So it's like Noob and Melina in MK11 where there's just no subtlety whatsoever anymore.
Subtlety.
Yeah, with Melina, at least it's kind of funny though, because she can throw on the voice whenever she wants to. Like, she can sound just like Katana whenever the time calls for it, which I find funny.
I do like that.
Because when we first heard that voice, I said on Twitter that one of Katana's mirror match intros where one is supposed to be Melina, and the voice is a bit different. Like Kyrie Walgan did alter the voice a bit. I said that was a way better Melina voice than what we actually got. And there were some people who got angry about it, and it's like, no, I'm right.
You're right.
You can't dispute this. Like this is objectively better.
Which intro was that?
Because
I
for some reason,
kind of like hear that one again.
Straight from the flesh pit, sister. Yeah, so like the problem is with MK11, for some reason, it's been mentioned so many times to death, but for some reason the direction of MK11 is to be extremely literal. Like there is no nuance. Like Noob Saibot is bad. Therefore, we cranked his bad man voice up to 11, right? Sindel, everyone thought she was a villain at first, so we just were lazy and made her a villain. Like, you know, Aaron Black's a cowboy. Made her a villain. Fuck it, he's just a cowboy now. He's not even like a Netherrealm cowboy. He's just a cowboy now. Like, there's more examples. Melina, Melina's a monster, so give her a monster voice. Devora was a bug lady. Make her more bug.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Shao Kahn is big monster man now.
Make him even more.
I think
Khan's
big,
Frost.
so make him meathead, yeah. Yeah, Frost. Well, Frost kind of stayed the same, let's be honest.
I mean, super angry all the time.
Frost was never a character.
I mean,
you have when Sindel is like lying and manipulating people in Aftermath, it's the most transparent thing in the world, and everyone just looks like a complete idiot because they can't see through it. Like, the only person who doesn't come off like a moron is Shang Tsung because he knows.
Absolutely, Shang Tsung is the best. Like, has a character. Like he actually portrays a character. Like Although funny enough, though, I would say he's a lot more subtle in his intro dialogues compared to like where he acts a lot better and acts out a lot more in the Aftermath story mode, though. Which I appreciate that. We get to see Carrie's performance a lot better in there.
Yeah, and they had to let it happen. But the funny thing is, like you were saying earlier, like how if films were written logically, like there's certain situations where the villains would never win or always win. And that's one example because Raiden can see from a distance that Shang Tsung is like cosplaying him. He's doing the Raiden form, right, and trying to trick Fujin because he flies in to stop him. But Raiden has fucking lightning powers and he can teleport. So Raiden could have just been like, lightning, from like a mile away, and Shang Tsung would have been like, oh fuck, like getting hit by lightning. And Fujin would be like, oh, you're Shang Tsung.
There was the quote, this stupid mosquito. There was a quote that I always love to hear and say whenever we talk about dumb Raiden. It's like, what was it? It's in his bio. No. No. Let's see. Just search this up. But what were we on about? We talk about like the MK11 stuff. Yeah, one thing I like to talk about whenever mentioning the what was it? Aftermath stuff. It does feel like in a way it's like everyone's stupid except for Shang Tsung. Like I like to imagine sometimes that's how I watch that story mode. It's just like Shang Tsung is just like, oh, you're idiots, but I'm just gonna play around and stuff.
It feels like Shang Tsung's own fan fiction with how much smarter he is than everyone else. It feels like it's being retold from his perspective because of how dumb everybody is. But then again, I forgot there's that possibility that Liu Kang
allowed it to happen.
Yeah, he told him like, hey dude, like let Shang Tsung win because I'm gonna body the fuck out of him and then like create the perfect timeline.
That's one way to do it.
Which still makes no sense because he could have shown up early and just kicked everyone's ass. But you know, it's whatever.
He needs to power up the crown. The power of the crown. Make the crown have so much souls in it. It's super powerful.
Is that what it is? Okay, if that's what it is, then I guess that makes a bit more sense. But he's already stronger than Kronika though. Oh, whatever.
It might have actually worked that a bit little better then if Shang Tsung had like reversed time to the dawn of time and Liu Kang was stood there waiting for him. Like as if Liu Kang he can't penetrate the timeline. He has to stay behind. But like when Shang Tsung reverses time, like the two paths kind of like coalesce, and so like he's there and he's like
hello there.
I was waiting for you, sorcerer.
That'd be kind of cool. Okay, here's the thing that I have here. Like in the bio of Mortal Kombat vs DC, and this is also in MK9, you will see here it says Raiden,
legendary bio of DC,
God of Thunder, protector of Earthrealm, ageless and wise beyond measure. That I will always use that whenever I look at Raiden. Ageless and wise beyond measure. We've prepared for you, Shang Tsung.
He's so wise in DCU that he didn't know Superman was a good guy
until the very end.
But then again, to be fair, that people who get put in charge of Superman projects also don't know Superman's a good guy, so you know it's not his fault.
And then there's that one line in Aftermath that I will never forget, where Raiden's like, "You think us unprepared? We were already suspecting your betrayal, Shang Tsung." And it's like, he already won. He already killed all your Outworld fighters by the time he's already showing his true colors. You've been prepared. I'm prepared. It's like, okay.
To be fair, like you look at that and you compare that to Shang Tsung and Sindel, who were completely blindsided by the fact that Shang Tsung was a traitor. Of all people to not
Oh, yeah.
realize, even Chronica knew, even she knew you can't trust Shang Tsung.
You did just
Shao
say-
Kahn and Cinderella like, oh.
I guess
Our
it's kind of
dog
like,
is
it's the equivalent
not
of having
obedient.
a. Yeah, exactly. It's the equivalent of like an owner abusing their dog constantly, and then being surprised when the dog finally bites them, and be like, "What the hell, dog? I thought you were my dog." That's like how Shao Kahn feels about like Shang Tsung. What the fuck, bro? I know I beat you up all the time, and I'm constantly mean.
I know
to
I
you and
sucked your
condescending,
soul
but
and gave
come
it to
on, bro.
Sindel in the last timeline, but I mean, that's details.
That was pretty cool, though.
This is the most pointless tangent ever. Do either of you two watch a guy called ER? Like
Yeah, I
E
used
semicolon
to.
R.
Yeah.
But
Oh, wait, that
remember
sounds
his Life is
familiar.
Tumblr. Remember the Life is Tumblr video when Chloe gets slapped by his stepdad,
Oh.
and there's just text appears on the screen saying consequences for my actions.
Consequences for my actions. I need to see that. Oh,
That character is a living embodiment of that, though, and it's so common in that I never even played the game, but like because that game was so controversial, I know too much about it, and it is like I can't tell if it's intentional or not because
Oh,
that
I
character
know this
constantly
guy.
gets her comeuppance, but the writing
Yeah.
treats it like she doesn't deserve it. Like when she's firing the gun and it ricochets and hits herself,
Yeah.
and like her friend goes, "Stupid gun." And it's like, what do you mean? The gun's not sentient.
Well-
I like to headcanon, because she's played by Ashley Birch, I like to headcanon that Cassie and Jackie went on similar misadventures in their youth.
Oh, that's cute, that's funny.
Cassie steals one of her mum's guns, accidentally shoots herself.
That game, you have many different ways to get Chloe killed off. It's very funny in that way.
Next
Well,
topic.
to be fair, Chloe gets killed off because she's fated to die. That's like one of the plot points. Blah blah. Next topic. What shall
and
we?
I will say the ending is actually sad. I'll give them
Speaking
that
of
much credit.
fate,
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Speaking of fate.
Wait. Do you guys want to go to
Speaking of
fate, or
fate,
do you guys want to go with like what we've been doing, what we've been up to recently, and then we can get like you can say he's. Been
I want
watching
the
Fate.
most interesting topic. I want to do them in order of interestingness.
okay, dog. You have seen Fate Stay Night now, yes? The proper Fate Stay Night, not the one that.
Oh, Snake
Crunchyroll,
is
like,
taking
gaslit
the
you into
Fate Stay
watching.
Night topic right here, right now.
Took the reins. He took the reins, baby.
We are doing it.
So you have indeed seen the true Fate Stay Night now.
Yes.
Not the one Crunchyroll tricks you into watching, the actual
Yeah.
Fate Stay
job.
Night.
Both now, yeah. I've
Yeah.
seen both.
Our audiences thought that was the most hilarious thing too. In our comment section.
That was a wild episode, but yes.
Yes,
so what
indeed.
did you think? What did you think of? So what are your thoughts on Dean Stay Night, as it's known by the fans?
Why is it called Dean
Oh,
Stay Night?
it was fine. I liked the
'Cause
Saturday
animated by
morning
Studio
kids
D.
vibe because I used to wake up every morning early on Saturdays to watch WB Kids. So I'd watch like Yu-Gi-Oh, followed by Shaolin Showdown, and all these different shows. A lot of them were anime, and it has that exact vibe. It has that like, here's the plot, but because we got to fill a 30-minute like slot, we got to stretch some of this shit out. So keep them
Okay.
talking. Keep
Yeah, that
them
sounds like
talking
for
another,
kids. Sounds
like
like
5
for
minutes,
kids.
you know. Which is completely fine. Overall, I liked it a lot more than the other
Unlimited?
one. Unlimited Blade Works has its moments for sure that are cool and whatnot, but I definitely do think that the Fate Stay Night original is better. I do enjoy it more
Aha.
overall. I didn't like how, I mean, to me, maybe it happens more in the games. Again, that's why like I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the show, because I get the feeling that they're doing the best they can. Because in the whole appeal of the game is you can choose your destiny, so it's more fun, right? It's interactive.
Yeah.
Whereas the writers are tasked with trying to pick the most interesting parts of that, right? Or at least like one canon direction, which makes sense. But to me, like everyone hypes up Saber, but to me, Saber is more like someone who's kind of skilled but has a broken ability that can one-shot anybody, which is like my least favorite kind of trope for a character to have, where it's like, I'm pretty good, but I can't really win unless I use this busted ass move. So give me a second while I wind up this busted ass move. And it's like, oh, that's cool, but I like it when they actually win through like sheer skill. But that could be due to like the mangas that I'm reading lately, where it's all about like technique and stuff. But no, it's a good show. I can definitely see why it has this crazy audience. And honestly, Snake, it's funny. I had zero interest in watching the follow-up because I'm just too exhausted. It's like watching JoJo. I've watched so much that I'm just burned out, right? But until you said that those follow-ups are like the bad ones, because I historically like bad stuff, so apparently.
Oh,
so
boy.
I'm now wondering if I'll actually like that the most for whatever dumb reason.
Interesting.
Well,
What's it called?
I
Like,
guess
like Heaven's Gate or something?
but you still not seen Heaven's Feel?
I haven't seen Heaven's Feel. That's the bad one, right?
But that's the one
he
I
doesn't like.
dislike.
He doesn't
Oh,
like.
Yeah, a lot of people really like it.
Don't tell me that.
But
Let me see
but
this.
I heavily dislike it for like my personal taste reasons.
Gotcha.
But like that's like the
So I'm assuming
Stay Night,
like Saber gets like fucked in that one or something.
I won't say anything that happens in it. I just don't like Heaven's Feel. Like if I was gonna revisit the Stay Night anime, that's the one I would not rewatch again. It's very depressing. But but yeah, so to get the full story, you need to see that, and that ties in most of the stuff with Sakura that you see in Zero.
The third girl, basically.
Yeah. And then,
which is interesting because she does nothing in the fucking show so far. So it's cool
Yeah.
to
Oh,
have
even
her
Stay Night.
actually
So
do
both
something.
routes, she doesn't do much. Okay.
yeah, because that's most characters in Fate Stay Night only really have any relevance in one route. Even Archer, for as important as he is in Unlimited Blade Works and being like one of the technically core members of the cast, he does fuck all in the other two routes. It's just
Interesting.
UBW.
Yeah, and like I've mentioned before with you guys, I like character moments, and that's probably why I liked the original so much more than Unlimited Blade Works, because Unlimited Blade Works goes deeper into like the fights and also the champions, whereas the original is more about the main character interacting with his family and his friends and like some school people, and even the defeated champions, he like makes friends with them, and like there's more character moments. I love that shit, but I can definitely see some people who feel the opposite when it's like, why are they still talking about dinner? Go on to the fucking fights. And it's like, nah, I like this shit. Joke's on you.
Well, the funny thing about that is that there is a cooking show spin-off. That's like
Wow.
called Tonight's Menu for Emiya Family, which is follows a version of events where nobody dies, everyone becomes friends, and they all just come over for dinner, and then each episode spends like 5 minutes where Shadow explains the process of making this dish. And like, and then there's just it even has like the beach volleyball episode in that show, where it's
the beach episode.
It's like Rin and Ryder playing volleyball against Shiro and Saber. Because when you get like something that doesn't follow any specific route, it tends to be Shiro and Saber get together. Because like that's like the OTP, and that's how it should be. Because that's the most satisfying payoff to all the events of Fate Zero.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, Snake, because now I'm thinking, if the champions age, because like they always kill each other, so I'm wondering, since they're like taken out of their own time and they're like fighting in this tournament, if they age, then that means even if they put off the tournament for as long as possible, eventually they'll become old, and it'll still be the tournament's back on, baby, because who's the last one to die of old age? And they win
That's funny.
That's one of the interesting things. That's one of the interesting things with Saber, actually, is the fact that she doesn't age. Because she has Avalon, the scabbard of Excalibur.
God's blessing.
And so the idea is that while she had that, as well as being able to heal her, it also made it that she just doesn't age. So she's supposed to have the body of a 15-year-old. She doesn't look it.
That makes the ship at least better, I
doesn't
guess.
look
Because
it.
It's hard to tell in anime, because you know how like the manga art style is. Like it's really hard to tell how old somebody is. Like especially that art style.
Yeah.
I imagine the plot point was a concession because Shiro is 17, I think, and but when she dies, Saber's supposed to be about 25, something like that, because she reigns for about a decade.
Okay.
I think it was supposed to accommodate that. But what's really funny is in Fate Grand Order they have an alternate universe version of her who is a Lancer class, because she focuses on the Lance Rongominiad. You know, the Lance she kills Mordred with in the flashback. So she focuses on that, so she doesn't carry Avalon, and as a result she looks a fair bit older and she has way bigger boobs.
Because she's
Which
more
is
mature.
funny,
she's
but
got bigger
also
boobs.
that's not how puberty works though, because it hits.
That's how anime works. That's how anime puberty works.
I think also the whole thing of not aging was supposed to explain why no one figured out she was a woman. It's because
no features.
So if she doesn't age beyond her teenage years, her chest's going to stay small enough to contain. And no one's gonna question it, like, because everyone knows, she has this magical healing device that stops her from aging. Well, him rather. They'll just think, it's just he looks like a teenage boy. That's fine. Whereas if she grew up, everyone would be like, why does the king look very feminine and have a massive chest?
Which is over-explaining it, honestly.
Like Artoria Lancer has massive tits.
Oh.
It's unreal.
That typical anime, that's how it works, man. Though, to be fair, you've mentioned that Merlin can do stuff in that series, so Merlin could have easily just been like, disguise spell. You look like a man now.
Well, that's one of the another weird part is that he does canonically do something to her so she can consummate her marriage.
That's what you told me. That's what I never forgot.
Yeah, so
don't worry, I didn't forget the futanari.
So like, he should be able to do something like that. Yeah.
I hope YouTube doesn't know what that word is.
I mean, our audience will. I have faith in our audience.
Oh, let's look at these. Let's look at the topics for today. I totally forgot because y'all flood the chat on Discord with so much stupid crap, and I gotta scroll through all this dumb shit.
It's our fault. Okay.
Thanks a lot, guys. So unprofessional.
You guys are the one who started the jury feet conversation above me. Okay, not me. Not me. Okay. Weekly feet, baby.
Because there was a funny video where someone was like questioning has Jory's feet ruined?
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6.
I replied to that video and I just said, "You're just kink shaming us for 4 minutes straight, huh?" That's all his video is.
What's funny about it is like the person's made a point that has tainted my view of Jory in the game, not necessarily in a good or bad way, but I'll always think about this when I see it. Is her? I think it's her. Like versus screen portrait or something where she's like, when she's got the foot right in the camera,
and she's like
the way she's, it looks like she's looking at the foot and practically slobbering all over it. And it's like, yeah, it does kind of look like from this angle that she's like really into her own foot.
Stop slobbering your own foot. Put your feet down, girl. I think that's what Koi has there.
Opposite. I thought she like had something on her foot or something, and she's like, like what's wrong with my foot? Like, 'cause it looks like she's making a kind of face to me, but I could just be looking at it wrong.
I mean, her tongue is out.
I did laugh at that joke though when he's like, if my mom walked in on this, like, she wouldn't talk to me ever again.
Yeah.
And I just thought of that like anime, but when your parents walk in,
basically,
where it's like it's a fight, but then your parents walk in and it's just tits everywhere, and it's like, what are you watching, Mom? I swear.
It is a good video though. My
favorite version of that kind of joke though is when the person switches to porn because it's easy to explain.
Oh yeah, I love that comment. Basically, it is interesting to see because it's like I guess in a way it's like people are saying, oh, we gotta have less boobies in our games, so we have like less censorship, we have more censorship and stuff like that. So it's people are like, okay, so should we then make the butts bigger then in our games, stuff like that? And in Street Fighter 6 it's like, okay, so we're definitely gonna just like focus on the feet here, right? Is that gonna work? Because it does seem like it's working tremendously in some cases here.
I just agree with the notion that Juri was not always the foot character, because she was always the foot character. Even in Street Fighter 4, when you like go to the menu, it has her like doing a spinning back kick, and her soul is like right at the camera. Like, but, yeah.
I mean, I mentioned this to you guys yesterday, but when I was rewatching the Street Fighter Cross Tekken trailers yesterday, and like Juri like pins Ling Xiaoyu to the face with her foot on her cheek. Like that's always been her thing. Like clearly, I mean, I'm pretty sure like she has like bigger feet than most characters, which makes sense for her being the kick character, but like I feel like even among the Street Fighter 4 cast, like it was accentuated with her more than anyone else, so it's always been her thing. It's not new.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's, I mean, and Cammy's always been the ass girl. Like, she's always been like, butt is what she's known for, and she still has a character, so it's still possible to like have a character and also be all about the body part,
the feet.
It's completely fine. Chun-Li's always been about thighs, it's always been completely fine. Who's the boob character? Poison? Ironically enough.
Probably. If you're talking Street Fighter 6, I can't think of anyone who would be that.
No, I just meant like traditionally. Like a lot of fighting games have like the booby character, and I don't think Street Fighter does, ironically enough.
I guess they just make Chun-Li have big boobs on the fan arts, for the most part, probably.
They do get bigger in each game, to be fair. Chun-Li never was known for having big tatas until Street Fighter 5, when they were like, listen, I got an idea for an anime. This girl has huge boobs, a big set of badonkas. I'm talking some hohankas. Like, they just kept getting bigger, man.
I know who has the big...
in Soul Calibur, obviously.
I know who has the big boobs in Street Fighter 6. It's Marissa. Haha.
Technically, just in sheer size, yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Like, she's big. I appreciate that she still has boobs.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're that big, you just wouldn't. Like, you wouldn't have any tatas, but it's okay, because it's fantasy. I mean, realistically, a girl would also not be that big, so it's completely.
It's Street Fighter we're talking about here, right?
When it's anime, though, it's like they have that as well anyway. Like they just do anyway, and just like, oh,
Yeah.
Okay, then I
It's
guess.
fantasy. Have fun with it. It's fantasy. I see no problem. Like, just have complete fun with it. I love using like a fictional medium to its extremes. I think it's completely okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's why I kind of hate how as someone who grew up like or went to college for learning, industry stuff, right? For game design or even animation. I hate that our viewpoint, at least in America, but I think it's all of the West, unfortunately, including the UK, but especially in the US, I know for sure, we're taught the opposite. We're taught if it doesn't make sense, that you shouldn't do that. Like when I designed a character and my professor was like, why does your character dress that way? And I was like, oh, I think it's like appealing to most people who would be like playing the game. And he goes, but could she realistically wear that in a fight? And I'm like, I guess not. And he's like, yeah, we should probably like change it then because you want it to be believable. Otherwise, like fans won't like it. And I'm just thinking, is that how it works though?
That sounds
like how it works though.
That sounds like live action adaptations. That sounds like
yeah, it sounds like indoctrination is what it is.
It's like we can't have Cowboy Bebop characters wearing this in live actions because it's not realistic. It's too hard for the actors and stuff like that. So let's casual it down and stuff like that.
Except they only did that for one character, and it was legit her. Everyone else is spot on with their cosplays. Like, it's ripped straight from the fucking anime. And it's the same with... I know the next topic is RE4, right? So might as well just segue into that. Because it's the same with RE4, isn't it? I understand, like, censoring the main girl a little bit. That's fine.
Ashley.
But Ada Wong, isn't she also wearing something completely different?
Yeah, originally it
she
was
had like a red dress,
a slinky dress, like a lot like what Anna Williams normally was in Tekken.
Yeah, and they just replaced with like a red sweater, right, or something, and like a gun vest. So it's just like Leon, pretty much, but lady.
Yeah.
She has a new costume, but I think it looks very good though. I think that new costume does.
It does. Here's my issue though.
Yeah,
it
does look good.
You know what I do mind? I mind that the only thing that has to change is the ladies, because Leon is like a 1-for-1 recreation, but then like all the women are changed. It just kind of bothers me. It's so transparently biased.
And then also, like, despite the fact that she doesn't have her dress in the story mode, she will have it back in the mercenaries mode, though.
And it's not even that big of a deal because you can always mod it. There's so many mods for it, but...
True, yes. There's so many sexy mods for this game already. It's insane.
It's so annoying how the West just keeps doing this. Like, the men look the same. Even with Final Fantasy VII, it's like everyone looks the same, except we got to change Tifa. Like,
I think that the changes to Tifa are an improvement.
I understand that the skirt changed, but I'm talking about even just like the overall nerf. The nerfing, if you get what I'm talking about. Like, the body shapes change, too. But not for the guys. The guys look 1-for-1 the same.
There is a scene in FF7 Remake where you can actually have Tifa wear like 3 different types of dresses, and I think those are very skimpy. So I don't think necessarily they have like a lot of the sex appeal gone from that part.
Yeah, it's not even just the sex appeal though. I want to get that across. It's not just the sex appeal that I have an issue with. It's the fact that only women are allowed to be changed. Like they don't touch the men because they know that like you don't have to, but they feel
people don't
need
care about them
to change the women. And it's not true though. Men and women don't care about the old designs for the women. It's just the studios. The studios care, so they force the change, and that's kind of the annoying part. Sorry, that's my soapbox.
You look at the cast as they are in the remake, and like Barrett's easily the least realistic one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure how much different from the others he looks in the older games, just because of how weird the art style was in FF7. But at least going off the remake version, he looks like a Gears of War character. No. He looks like Jack Kamen from Anarchy Reigns. Like he has that kind of like ridiculous like his arms are the size of pumpkins. That's how big this dude is.
Yeah.
But
big boy.
Like, he's fine. But like a punch girl with big tits, I can't have that.
And I'm also noticing that like only the women's femininity gets dialed back, because I'm looking at Cloud in Advent Children, and his arms are less defined and muscular than he is in Final Fantasy VII Remake. So make him buffer, because that's like, manly, so crank him up. But the women, dial back those titties. God forbid, like, women have boobs. Like, kids can't know that women have boobs, everybody. Like, they can't be allowed to know. Sorry. It's such a silly thing to get like worked up over, but it's like, I guess I'm just a stickler for like tradition, especially with a remake. If it's like a reboot or a different thing, do whatever you want. Like the DMC reboot, I don't give a shit. It's a different timeline. Do whatever you want. It's like
okay, sure.
That's just how I feel. That's how I feel. But when you make a remake, like the Dead Space remake, for example, I feel like when you remake something, there should be a rule that you're not allowed to change shit. You can add stuff, but you can't change shit. Like, it actually bothers me. And it's the same with RE4. Like, why'd they take some of the cheesy jokes out? It bothers me. Like, it's not supposed to be gone.
I got a question. Did you play or did you check out RE4 Remake, Dog?
No.
Okay, so...
I checked it out. I haven't played it.
So, okay, let me say, I know, Snake, you beat the game, correct? I watched a full walkthrough of it from Maximilian Dude. So basically, me and Snake have a lot more of the knowledge of, like, going through, like... Actually, funny enough, I watched his walkthrough of Resident Evil 4 about, like, a year ago. So it's, like, it's funny. Oh, now I'm going to watch him do RE Remake, too. It's quite entertaining in that aspect and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the best person to ask about gaming opinions here would be about Snake here. Like, how do you feel about that? Actually, how do you feel about that question, about the jokes and stuff like that? That changes.
Well, I understand why they made the changes, because they're going for a lot more serious vibe.
Yes.
With the remakes, but they knew going in that they had to remain true in a lot of ways to the original, because fans would not be happy if all the camp was taken out. So there's still a campy element to it. Like, Leon still has all these like really dumb quips. It's just not quite as dumb as they were in 4. Like, there's no your right hand comes off. Like, there's nothing that as dumb as that, unfortunately.
What is funny is they don't have that, but they do have that as an achievement name in the game.
Yeah, a lot of the achievements
are the jokes.
Are quotes from the original. Like, DMC did that too. Well, a lot of all the achievements were quotes from the original 4 Devil May Cry games. Cute. It's an odd detail.
The one thing I do miss but I understand why they didn't do it, but I do kind of miss was there is no like your comms getting hacked by like Sadler and Salazar.
Yeah,
that was too bad, because those are hilarious. Just talking shit.
Yeah, those are that's some of the best parts of the original game.
Now,
where all the best bands
only Luis and Ada will hack your comms, but like they kind of try to bring that back with like speakerphones and stuff like that, so like you can still hear them like talking shit to you about that.
But the problem with that is it's not a back and forth. It's just them to you.
Yeah.
Leon doesn't actually like really quit back at them. Like, it was almost like a battle of ego in a way in the original.
Yeah, basically.
Where Leon was like, always force himself to have some kind of comeback, no matter how fucking stupid it was. He always had to say something in response.
Indeed, yeah.
Which is relatable, because like, when you're arguing with some dipshit on Twitter, you don't want them to get the last word.
You just gotta come back to him.
It's a stupid thing. Like it doesn't matter whether anyone thinks they won, even them. It doesn't matter, but you still feel like you don't want them to have the satisfaction of thinking they've won because you stop replying. It's
a poison.
So it's almost like so you almost like. The best option is to reply to them and then block them before they can reply back. It's such a coward move, but it gives you the most satisfaction.
I have the last laugh.
And that's what Leon was like in the original, in a way. But he really did feel like he was just trying to be this like action hero kind of guy with all the quips.
It's funny,
because he's more serious around Krauser and Ada, who actually know what he's actually like.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of like the way how it feels for both like the original game and the remake, it feels like the remake is like an action movie with some quip in it, whereas like the original just feels like it has a ton. It goes with full cheese and it goes like full on like ballistics with its like jokes and like cheesiness with it. And just so you know, I was not thinking of it. It just happened to pop up in my mouth. The word ballistics has nothing to do with that at all. But in a way, I can kind of see like both mediums like taking advantage of like each way in a sort of way. It's like, okay, now that you're modernizing it, now that you're trying to like really portray it in a more HD quality and like movie stuff and that, I can see why you don't have those certain scenes from the original and stuff like that. One scene in particular, I was really curious how they were going to do it, because I thought in the original was so crazy, was when they were in the castle and Ashley starts like coughing. Ashley, are you okay? Leave me alone, Leon! And she just starts running, and like behind her, like the doors, like 3-4 of them, boom, 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 close up to her, and then she just gets like grabbed from like the wall. And, I was thinking, how are they gonna do that in the remake?
It's like the most hyper-specific trap you could ever imagine.
Yes!
It requires you to know exactly how the person's gonna move, because like it's so.
I haven't seen
what
happens after this, but I'm just kind of curious, because there's one scene that actually makes Ashley dumber in the remake, and it's when she first meets Leon, because In the original, she's just scared. And when he goes, my father sent, the president sent me, she goes, my father? And she's immediately like, oh, he's here to help me. Whereas in the remake, he says that same line, like, I'm working with your father. And she goes, and like runs away. And I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, what did you...
Okay,
well,
to be fair,
she's been abducted by this weird European cult. Is she going to believe Leon straight away?
I guess not, but he could have killed her multiple times and like didn't.
Well, Leon walks out and immediately she sees her like panicking in front of the window, and she's like, "What do we do?"
You're right.
So
because she can see all the people coming towards them.
She does immediately.
So it's not just instantly believing him. It's I'm going to have to trust this guy because I see before me the alternative. All these cultists coming to the church.
Yeah.
So I think it works. I think it works better. I also think it's just hilarious when like as soon as she gets a chance, she just bolts out the door. Leon's like, Leon's just like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's like, here we go again. The
I feel like one of my problems with the remake is that I feel like the whole cast got a downgrade in charisma. Every single character except Ashley.
Ooh.
I think she was an overall improvement.
You see, I actually
it's kind of not hard though, is it?
It's always like fun
to upgrade Ashley when she was known for being
honestly,
the annoying whiner who does like nothing.
I mean, she's not that bad in the original. I mean, because the thing is, people are like, oh, Resi 4, the full games.
Yeah, we've discussed that before. Yeah.
Like, you don't actually have her with you that much of the game, and she knows what to do. You say, hey, Ashley, get in this bin,
and she saves your life too. That's like still in the original also, where she like knows how to use the machine, right? And she saves her life.
In the remake, and she does it a lot more,
she's more
right?
useful in the remake.
Yeah. She actually helps out a lot more.
When she helps Leon out.
I see.
I think
the agenda being pushed.
But there's also just nice little details like the way she'll just talk with Leon during gameplay, like parts where like you have to grab Ashley, catch Ashley when she jumps down.
Yeah.
In this version, sometimes she goes, "My hero."
I do like that. At least she's like,
she's like,
you shoot stuff too, right? She goes, "Good shot." Like she'll like praise you.
She has one line where she's like, "Skills," which I thought was kind of funny too.
Yeah, like one of the cool things is when you go to the merchant shooting range.
Oh, yeah, I love this.
If Ashley's with you at that, if she's with you at that point, she'll just like sit on a barrel and watch and cheer you on while you're shooting, saying about how good you are, which is really nice. And I appreciate the fact that when she's on the barrel, she's sat there cross-legged, and one of her character renders for the original Resi 4, she's sat on a barrel for some reason. I think the bottle cap you could collect from the shooting range in the original of Ashley was that.
Oh.
And it's the exact same pose. And then when you go to a costume selection, because the jacket she wears, she loses that during the story.
Yeah.
And so then the outfit is. So then she has the original turtleneck. It's just that the scarf thing over her shoulders isn't there, and she has the tights now. But other than that, it's the same outfit as the original. And so when you choose in the menu to switch to that outfit and have that wear that the whole time, the pose she's in is from another render from Resi 4, the original.
Oh.
So you can see there's a lot of love and attention that went into this game.
Cool.
Like,
Absolutely.
It's certainly better than
3
remake was as a remake.
It's crazy. It's crazy for me to say this, but I honestly because Resident Evil 2 remake is a masterpiece, but I think this might be better. Like I genuinely think the gameplay and like what happens in the story and stuff like that is just like it's a better game than 2. Like
people are saying that. Yeah. Here's my little rant real quick, and I'll be done once I say it, because I think it would be a good quotable moment. This could be like put on Twitter out of context, and it would still work. So I finally discovered what my issue is. Okay. I understand that I'm just. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. So.
That's the Twitter out of context thing. There we go. Awesome.
I understand that I'm just one guy, so it's just my opinion. Anyone else can have whatever opinion, and it's completely fine. My issue is it's titled as a remake. So I understand you're saying like, oh, the changes they made were to give it a more horror-like feel, a more realistic-like feel, and like a more movie-like feel. So a lot of the corny stuff had to go to keep that tone. But to quote Snake, why? Why was that necessary? It's a fucking remake. If I'm told to remake a painting of the Mona Lisa, I'm not allowed to change shit. It's a remake. It should be a one-for-one like copy, but better, right? If you're gonna do that, that's the whole point. So I guess my issue is it's a slippery slope.
They've already
right?
done
if
that.
They change one thing, they're gonna change more things, and then yada 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 yada. And before you know it, we got like Hollywood level remake where they change everything, and it's like, oh, but it still has the gameplay. And it's like, yeah, but it's a remake, not a reimagining. You know, I guess they should like title it literally, like, oh, it's a reimagining, not a remake. Even if the changes are good, it's like, why'd you change it?
That's the thing. Is I believe the developers don't call these remakes. I think they view them as reimaginings because, like in Japan, they're not called Biohazard 2, Biohazard 3. It's Biohazard 2 and 3 and 4. So it's just in the West, it's marketed as a remake, whereas in Japan, it's more a reimagining. Though I say 4 is meant to be like more of a remake because like it sticks much closer to the blueprints of the original.
The stages are very similar and still.
Which in a way makes it feel like almost like less of a reason to exist, just because you could play Resi 2 and then the remake, 3 and then the remake like back to back and have different experiences.
Different. They're very different style, yeah.
But with 4, it's mostly the same. There are new areas. There are some parts that got cut, but it is most of the same campaign going through the same areas. Just that sometimes you go through a room in the opposite direction, which is a nice little touch. But it's most of the same stuff, and so it's. I can't see myself playing 4 and the remake back to back.
Yeah.
But my view on the subject of the remakes is I feel like obviously you have to stick to the original. 3 definitely strayed way too far.
3's the example of the
I think 2 and 4 definitely did a much much better job of actually adapting the original story into this like newer format.
Yeah.
But my view is as long as the original is still available, it's fine. So I don't mind changes being made to Resi 4 because the original Resi 4, Capcom's not going to stop selling the original Resi 4. You can get both of these games on the PS4, both on the same system. You can just do that and then play them on the PS5. So I feel like as long as they keep selling that's fine. It's a little more. It's not quite as acceptable with 2 because 2 is not readily available, and 3 is just not available. Is not available either, and 3 is radically different. So I feel like as long as the original is still, you can still get the original. It's generally fine. But you look at the older games like Resident 2 and 3 are like less than a gigabyte. Why not just package them in with the game?
You definitely could.
Interesting.
Like, this is the thing. Like,
that's a good idea, Snake. You're too smart.
mean, like friggin' like Metroid Zero Mission on the GBA or whatever had Metroid 1 in it. The whole thing.
Now I want a remake of Metroid,
they just did
but like
that.
with really good fucking graphics.
Metroid
that wouldn't really translate as well though, because it's not a story-based game. Maybe Metroid Prime could be redone.
They did that already, actually.
But,
I meant the Switch has the first. Wait, Prime? Is that the? That's the
I want
first
a
person
remake,
one, right?
not a remaster.
No, well, Super Metroid's going to be the one to get the remake. That's the one.
Oh
that's
that's the one
like,
that people like have a cult following for and stuff like that.
But the only question is, will they add Samus's inner monologues about the baby, or will they just stick to the original and say no, Other M didn't happen, please forget it?
I don't know actually, because I think Dog's take on this sounds like because you're saying if it's a remake, then don't change shit. But like,
but I also agree with Snake. It's a tightrope to walk, and I'm always afraid of the slippery slope because people act like, oh, that's a fallacy, and I'm like, it's really not. It's just a proven thing after a matter of time. Like, there's a thin line between, oh, we're just changing a little bit to Other M, since Snake brought that up. Like we just completely changed the character because you wanted to. Which could definitely happen. So you have to I want to scare these developers into being afraid to change anything. Just make it. They can change some things, but they don't go crazy with it. We're lucky the Dead Space remake was pretty much untouched and only had cool stuff added, which I like.
Yeah, that's the thing. It really is a balancing act, because if it's going to be literally the same game, then what's the point? There's no point making it going to be just the same thing.
That just sounds like a remaster, right?
Both parts are true. Both parts are true.
Looking, right?
On the one hand, why are you making it? But on the other hand, the original was really good, so you can't change too much because the original is why you're making it at all, because it was so good. But also, there should be a reason to play it. I agree.
The reason why they're remaking it is obviously because the original is quite an outdated style. Of course, money. But I meant of course, let's say FF7 remake. If everyone loves FF7, it's the best RPG ever. Yeah, let's go play it. And it's PS1 graphic style game, so it's obviously there's a reason that you want to bring that to the modern audience.
And the gameplay is completely different too. Complete overhaul of gameplay. No longer a turn-based game at all. It's like a third-person shooter.
Here's a fun fact, by the way, Dog. If you want a completely same remake, I think Square Enix did release that, and it's a mobile game where they actually do update the graphics of the original FF7.
I'm not a huge fan of turn-based combat.
Yeah, that's a weird one, but I feel like since we're mentioning but also FF7 Remake is not actually a remake.
That is
it's
probably
like
a new game now, yeah, from where they're going to
re-
story.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7.
But since we're talking about Dead Space, I played through that recently as well.
Oh, nice.
And I think that is I think that's a top to bottom improvement.
We go on way more tangents later on. Join us next time as we shit talk Star Wars and Marvel stuff for the 50th time again.